One time like this, make it pop like this, make it knock like this, make it drop like. One time like this, make it pop like this, make it knock like this, make it drop like.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen. Did I mention ladies? It's my pleasure to introduce myself. I go by the name of Ghost. I will be your tour guide through this story. This story was created for my future son. Unfortunately, as I got into it, it became a lot more than I bargained for. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you groan, roll you something up. And pour yourself a drink. If not, get a juice box, bitch. I don't give a fuck. This story is written as real people, and written in the format of an anime. So don't get sidetracked by the images. I'm just poor and can't afford real actors. This story begins in the year 3031. After the move from Earth, things started moving fast. Populations grew at an alarming rate. Major cities grew all over the different planets. With the good also comes the bad. Crime has become a natural part of life in most parts of the universe, but in other parts of the universe are rich and luxurious oases of life. On one planet not too big in size or population in comparison with others. On the planet New Florida there lies two boys about to go on an adventure that they would never have imagined. The two boys Katsuo and Kaido, kings that controlled ice and water. The boy's father was a very rich and powerful man named Sean. He never really spent much time with them, and when he did it was cold and scolding. Sean was rich because his father was rich and he founded the planet that they lived on. Over time he turned this planet into a multi-billion space credit planet, ranking their planet in at 23rd in wealth. They're far from the richest planet, but how they got it was through all means. Sean used that money to grab power and powerful connections throughout the entire universe. Wherever he could find power he would stop at nothing to get it. He rose to power by buying the planet's military, using them to take over and destroy anyone or anything that got in the way of his plan. He got so carried away sometimes that he would wipe out entire planets to get problems out of the way. This made living on this planet hard, mainly for his family, because it put a huge red X on their backs. Anyone that wasn't in good status or just looking for revenge could just use them as ransom, or just try to kill them. Not only that, but the fact that the order of the New World government saw things like what Sean was doing as an uprising against their own power. Then there was his wife and mother to his kids, Cherish. Cherish was everything to him and his sons. She was the most beautiful woman on the planet. Everyone wanted her for their own, but of course Sean had to have her and took her for his own. No matter what happened, she was always there for Kaido and Katsuo. She cared for them like they were God's angels, and she had to return them as is.
Hi, I'm Katsuo, the manlier of the two, a real badass, and the better looking of the two. One day I'm going to stand at center stage, everyone's going to be chanting my name and everyone will respect me. This on the other hand is my brother Kaido, he's the know-it-all wuss, he's really quiet. He also turns into a real crybaby when he's away from either me or my mom. Hi, I'm Kaido, the brains of the operation. Sorry, my brother is kind of an idiot, but I'm pretty much used to it by now. He's obsessed with being the strongest person in existence. I kind of believe he's capable of it though, except for the fact that Katsuo is the loudmouth take action first then think later kind of a person. Which always leaves me in the treads to clean up his messes. Me and Kaido are kings, and ever since we were little we could do things other people couldn't. For instance, I can control ice and Kaido controls water. Normally kings aren't born so close in bloodline. But that's what makes me and Kaido so special. We're twins born on the same day, but look completely different. For example, I look just like my mother with her dark black hair. It's so black that it looks blue. Kaido's hair is snow white. He cuts it all nice and neat. He even dresses nice and neat. I act just like my father and my grandfather, and we all have the same free spirit. While Kaido is quiet with a cold and distant demeanor. Mom said that up until her due date no one knew she was having twins. The only thing they knew was that my body had a weird layer of water wrapped around me and feared I would drown in her womb. After I came out, Mom started losing a lot of water from her body. It dripped all over the floor, then all the water started coming together and formed into my brother Kaido. Our parents were shocked to see what had happened. They knew immediately that we were kings, but they wouldn't let us be taken by the order of the New World government. Sean wouldn't give us up because he saw us as becoming very powerful pawns in his future gains. I don't care about my dad. He just isn't something I care to think about, but I would do anything for my mom, because as long as I'm with her I'm alright. Kaido on the other hand also doesn't care much about my dad or my dad's plans, but he can't be away from us to save his life or anyone else's. I think it's because it's just part of his natural self, but the fact that the government could come for us at any time could do it too. If anything were to happen to me and Mom, that would be the worst thing possible to happen to him. Word quickly traveled from planet to planet, until it got back to the planet of the Order. Today is the day my dad completed his new project, the King's Ship. Word is that it's a big airship equipped with 2,500 rooms, bathrooms in every room, pool, training areas, cafeteria, laundry rooms, vehicle port, and entertainment room. It's for his army of kings that either just want to join his army or prisoners that get caught on his new world raid takeover. I'm not too sure about it though, it's all just speculation at this point, but either way he's leaving. And us behind with it. He'll be gone for about 4 months, so it should be pretty peaceful around here while he's gone. Mom, Katsuo, and I are supposed to spend the day together. We're going out to the town and later on we're going and see some fireworks. We left the mansion and headed out laughing and having a good time. The first place we went was to a diner to get some breakfast and plan out what we were going to do with the rest of the day until the fireworks started. Katsuo got waffles, eggs, bacon, and a milkshake. I got the same thing except pancakes, and my mom got some toast and eggs. We ate and talked about where we were going to go. As we sat there eating, everyone in the diner was awkwardly quiet looking at us. They looked at us with nothing but hate in their hearts. We finished eating and paid for our food. "Good, now hurry up and get out of here," said one of the waitresses. We gathered all our things and left. After leaving the diner we made our way to the shopping mall. Mom took forever going in and out of stores, picking things up then putting them back down. We repeated these steps for all 7 stores until she got everything she wanted. After we left the mall my stomach started growling and Mom took us to our favorite restaurant. I ordered the steak and Kaido got fish. We scuffed it down like it was a never-ending plate, finishing it before the plate hit the table. Being a king puts a lot of stress on the body, so we have pretty big appetites. It was getting dark, so we figured we might as well head on over to the fireworks show. We weren't too far away. But to get there from here we had to go through the bad part of town. This part of town was especially bad because this was the area of the planet where my dad siphoned most of the money from. It was once a very successful part of the planet's economy. All that was left now were criminals, drug addicts, homeless people, and the wounded. Mom and I wanted to take the long way, but Katsuo insisted we go straight through. I grabbed her hand and held onto her. "It's okay," she said. "These people are no different than us. They are just doing what they can to live. We shouldn't fear them or treat them like outsiders. Yeah, and if anything happens, the universe's strongest and most anticipated badass will take care of it." Mom mumbled under her breath, "That's what I'm afraid of. Why don't you try and show some self-control this time?" she added. I laughed. "Katsuo? Really? You want Katsuo to show self-control? He has always been a hothead that would start a huge fight over any little thing, trying to prove he's the strongest person there is. Especially when it's over Mom. And then I'm usually the one that ends up having to clean up whatever trouble he starts. The hardest part of doing that is trying to detain him, then I have to apologize for his stupidity." Everything was good until we got to the last street. We passed by a bar and a couple drunk guys came stumbling out. The ringleader yelled out, "Look what we have here, boys. The royalty of this shitty little planet." It smelled like they had all took a liquor bath. They stumbled over to Mom and started touching and feeling all over her. One of the guys shouted out, "Hey boys, let's show her a good time, the way us lesser beings do it." I couldn't move, every part of me wanted to go over to them and rip their heads off, but my body just wouldn't allow it. It's like I was frozen in time, but everything else was still going on regularly.
The fact is that they were kings. And the Order collects kings and takes them away to a life of needless killing. Then they use their powers as a tool to rule over all the other planets they deem too dangerous.
Mom always said Kaido couldn't handle it, so it was vital to stay under the radar. He doesn't do so good when he's away from us, or if something happens to us. We got to the end of the road and not a minute too late. As the show started, I felt a hand touch me. As I looked around, I noticed Kaido was looking for something as well. Did you feel someone touch you too just now? We shrugged it off as if it was a joke or prank from someone. In the midst of the fireworks show, a bright light appeared in the sky, and then the emergency sirens went off. It was the order of the New World's government coming to destroy the current government for disturbing the order.
When the Order does that, they take out all the people involved and set off a reset. A reset was a bomb they let off on planets. But the bomb doesn't destroy anything. It transports every living thing to separate places all over the universe. This was it, the beginning of the story that changed everything. This story is meant to do one thing, and one thing only. I won't give you answer now, but when you realize what it is, I hope it brings you the same peace of mind it brought me. There's no agenda or propaganda that comes with it. I give you my hand openly, if you choose to accept it. Oh, like and subscribe, you lazy ass, punk bitch. With love, Ghost.